Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever, whenever that you may be tuning in. This is Yonks, and this is yet another working group for AI Hacker House Academy. It's actually only our second working group, and wherever that you're watching, you should have a link to the Google Doc. And guess what? I made it so easy. If you go to ai.hackerhouse.academy, it actually redirects here to the Google Doc. You'll probably land on the home page. So that's over here on the home page, and we're actually in the convos for 2025 week 18. And I'm going to grab a link here real quick, copy link, uh, tab, Google Docs tab for today's agenda. And I'm not sure what all we've got in the agenda. Let's go ahead and take a look on here. I did put a few things in here, but this is a template that we're working off of. It's one that we've used a lot for AI Agents.box. Talk about our FEL culture, fun, earning, learning, and giving. So anyway, call to action. Follow our hackerhouse.net social media accounts. So let me just copy and paste this into the Zoom or the Restream chat so that it gets broadcast out to all the things. And here's a link to our Luma calendar. So my thoughts with Hacker House, this is going to be, in my opinion, such a foundational brand in our ecosystem. And the Hacker House Academy here that we're spinning up is just going to amplify that. So anyway, this is what the Luma calendar looks like over here. Oh, wrong tab. Here it is, Luma Hacker House. And we've been using Luma for a while for our events. For one of the reasons is that it's easy to do. And we've already got another event scheduled for tomorrow, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. And let me throw a link in there for that tomorrow. So this is where we're working on making it a little bit more inclusive for people on a global basis to potentially contribute. So tomorrow's working group number 3 event on Luma, and that's 12 p.m. EDT. All right. Oh, let me get that right here. So we'll see. And part of the reason that really wanting to get like the things done here this next week, I'll be actually traveling, uh, personal traveling on Saturday evening, and then I'll be in Toronto for Consensus 2025 the following week. So I'm really wanting to see how much progress that we can get made on the curriculum for this coming up here. So anyway, going back to our agenda here, crossing these things off the list, here is our Twitter account. Let me throw that in there. So this is something just to put it out to the universe at large. If you love contributing to social media, reach out to me. This is something that we can do a better job at. And you can see right here, look, I'm hosting Hacker House AI. We are live streaming also to Twitter. So let me just open that up real quick here because I'm going to throw this in our Google Docs as well. So here's a link to the Twitter broadcast. All right. I'll probably change that later to the tweet. And then LinkedIn over here and hackerhouse.net. So this is something AI Hacker House Academy soon, P Token Assets brand, part of 3-1 social ecosystem. And if we can come up with a better thing to use for our description, let me know. That's something we'll be going through some branding conversations here in the coming next couple of weeks. That was one of the things that we were having some side conversations on before we went live here. All right, so let me make sure that I threw that in here for all my friends on the live stream. Let me grab that real quick. Follow us, follow us, follow us. Join the conversation. Okay. So, one of the things that I did between our conversation last night and tonight is I set up a couple things. Didn't get all this stuff set up here on the agenda, but I did create the snapshot governance portal. And this is just checking some of the boxes here. And one of the things that I did is I made it a subspace within our ecosystem of Retoken DAO. This is still one of the things that we will be rebooting into P token assets. So this is one of the brand things going through our recent proposal. Retoken Improvement Proposal 15 that we just voted on a week or so ago. So this is going to be one of our flagship brands, Hacker House. The other one is We Own Cash. And right now, I think I've got still We Own Cash here on the main page. So anyway, this might change as far as what these subpages look like, but that's something that only time will tell. Anyway, going back to our agenda here, let me show real quick. This is something that is not, we've been using HATS protocol quite a lot, and this is the same sort of tree. For those people that aren't familiar with what HATS protocol is, let me actually just go in here. So organizations work better with HATs, save time, automate onboarding, and manage permissions across the internet with programmable on-chain roles. So anyway, here's what our hats look like. And this is our pre-launch team. And the three of us are on this conversation here. Uh, Received this here about 20 hours ago or whenever it was since I last refreshed the page. So anyway, one of the other tools that we have been using, not a whole lot yet, and it'll be interesting to see because whether we spend most of the time creating the curriculum, but Charmverse, I set up on collab.hackerhouse.net. Even though we're at hackerhouse.academy, this is something that we will likely just use the collab.hackerhouse.net Charmverse space. This is a completely out of the box template. So I haven't set up the pre-launch team hat here within Charmverse. Something that may do here tonight if we want, but anyway, went through a lot of stuff here already. And on that note, I'm going to pause and let I am Lotus or Tyler chime in any thoughts on some things since some updates from all the things since our last conversation yesterday.
I have nothing to say. I'm just waiting for us to get execution on this. That's all.
Well, and that's one of the things, yes, getting some things set up. And that's actually, let's talk about over here on we spent a lot of time yesterday talking about some of the benefits, but before we do that, and I don't know, are you going to be able to contribute too much with this conversation, or is Tyler is Brooke going to be pulling in most of your time
Probably
here?
not. Oh, I'm listening, but probably not as much talking.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so let me add a new section here for deliverables. So we need to set up, let's see, I'm going to make this a heading. I'm going to put over here. Now discussing deliverables, goals, and FAQs tab. And this one needs to get pulled back to the top level here. Okay, so deliverables. So let's put a check mark here. So create infrastructure, cloud infrastructure that will ultimately become their AI agency, whatever we end up calling this brand. And this is our vertical AI agents. Vertical AI agents.
You had a chance to check Manus?
Um, no, I'm more like here. Let's actually just look at because I know that you brought that up last night. So Manus is an autonomous artificial agent developed by Chinese startup company Monica. The agent is designed to independently carry out online tasks. So, and this is where like looking at various things, I'm more interested in whether we do a deep dive on Manus or not. And let's see where we want to put this. Let me create a new tab over here on rename AI agents frameworks. So I'll create a subtab under here, subtab, rename, Manus. And this is where we need to like, um, what is it called? Manus.im. Okay, so let's actually go back to we've got curriculum ideas. So I'm going to create a subtab here under curriculum ideas for weekly schedule. Rename weekly schedule. And I don't know if it'd be better to do this in Google Sheets or not, but I'm going to pull open a calendar here real quick. Profiles. So this is our 3-win social ecosystem calendar. So let's take a look here at June. So let's take a look at what were we targeting again for the goals. So Tuesday morning, let's just put a 11 or 12. Let's just put it for 12. Hacker cohort number 1. Zoom number, and I'll just put here Zoom AI.hackerhouse.academy. And let's put this repeat weekly custom after we'll put 16 occurrences. I don't think that we're going to do this every week, but we'll just do 16 right now. Save, and I'm going to duplicate this. Duplicate, and we were talking about Friday morning Zoom. So that would be Friday 12 to 1. And then maybe do an office hours. Put that on Wednesday for now. Office hours. And let's see if I got those repeating. 1 week after 16 occurrences. Save. Okay, so let's look at the June. That's interesting. I have an office hours on there for my IRA.fund. Okay, so we put some placeholders on here. So let's see. Put here added placeholders, free-win, DAO, calendar for the next 16 weeks starting June 2025. Okay, so deliverables. Going back to the deliverables, all right. Create cloud infrastructure. So wanting to look here, and we started talking about the weekly schedule. So let me just put a week number. One of 16. So this is more of a introduction to cohort, pure learning cohort. Set up cloud infrastructure. Not sure what this will look like yet. Um, and going back to like the curriculum ideas, because specific tools like Manus and what other AI agent frameworks, like that's something that we will look at and unpack here. I'm not sure where we should put the curriculum because we've got the curriculum ideas in the AI agents frameworks. Let me put here AI agents.
I don't know if the link I gave you has the video, but he gave it a prompt and it gave him everything. It even built the website.
Yeah, and that's where AI agents are going to be going, and I'm not sure which ones will be make the most sense as far as from a composability. That's not something that I personally done a deep dive, and that's one of the reasons that I'm looking forward to going through this cohort. I would personally prefer to use ones that are more US centric than Manus. That's my biggest concern about Manus. I'm also a huge fan of Venice AI that provides a privacy middleware, but that's something that we will be absolutely doing here in the here in May, is figuring out what we want to create the curriculum and what makes the most sense. Because the biggest thing that we want to do with this curriculum model is explore things like the opportunity for we've got 16 weeks here, and this is where we can break down what we want to go through on a weekly schedule. Because besides like Manus, there's also Goose, which is open source by Block. Um, and then there's but I'm not even going to make a list of the AI agents or frameworks right now. I'll put another one on here. Eliza OS. This is something that we've spoken about before, and this is something too that we should work on putting in some repository like Charmverse where we can really have the information be more organized. And whether it's a combination of Charmverse and or Google Docs or whatever, that's something that we can also work towards. Best practices: find, implement, and refine. So anyway, looking at the goals and the deliverables. So deliverables, set up where we will e-commerce, set up platform, set up website where we will receive funds for this academy. And this is something that we will likely do on hackerhouse.net because again, I'm not sure how that we're going to use because we've got hackerhouse.academy and hackerhouse.net, but really wanting hackerhouse to be the main portal. Real quick, I'm going to bounce back here to over here because DAO Web3 tooling, the one that I skipped over, we've had conversations this past week around unicorn and account abstraction. And I'm not really wanting this course, this academy, to be like super deep into blockchain. I think that that's something that we'll absolutely talk about and unpack as far as especially the value propositions of like Hacker House as far as a P token asset. Really, as I mentioned earlier in this positioning, Hacker House as a prominent P token asset brand that we're wanting to proliferate. And one of the goals of this course is to educate real estate professionals about the value of tokenization and what that can look like for their career and their revenue streams as a real estate professional. But anyway, let's talk about Unicorn real quick. Unicorn.eth redirects to my Unicorn account. Onboard any community to a safe, profitable Web3 experience. And this is something that we definitely want to make the experience for real estate professionals fabulous and easy for people. So I'm more of the belief that this is definitely something that we should experiment and get feedback on. One of the things that I was talking to Tyler about is pricing, early community. Um, and this is something that I think that we should just go ahead and pull the trigger on. And I'm not sure what it'll look like because you both know that we're building a more complicated ecosystem from a branding standpoint. But um, this is something that I think that setting this up, and I'm not sure if this is something that we should set up here today, but with the price point that we're looking to be onboard people at, I think the opportunity to really work on getting this set up earlier would probably make sense. But I'm going to stop talking and hear what you all think, I am Lotus or Tyler, on this.
I
Yeah.
was
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm Lotus.
uh I was trying to click on your link in post and like it, but anyway, I think we decided to do the free version first. Isn't that right?
We did, and that was specifically with We Own Pizza Club, and this is a different brand and a different situation here. Like for that, I think that that absolutely makes sense, and I would prefer right now to probably embrace because one thing I'm pretty certain is that we won't have 50 people on here, but like with what we're doing, um, I really want this to be a polished experience. And one of the big value propositions in the this plan is that we can bring our own domain and work on getting that set up. So That's something we don't have to make a decision on this tonight. I mean, we could definitely do the free version right now, but I think it would probably make sense because here with the free version, we can personally onboard into this and see what this looks like. But it probably would make sense to get it upgraded here sooner than later so that we can work on getting the our own domain set up. And I'm not sure what monetization tools exist. That's a little foreign to me. But let's I'll put here to let me just throw this in the restream too. Discussing using unicorn for our hackerhouse.net community. And there's the link to myunicornaccount.com. Getting back to the Google Docs, there's the link for that. Okay, so going back to the deliverables, goals, and FAQs. So weekly, let's go back right here. E-commerce, set up website where we will receive funds for this academy. And part of the reason that it just triggered here, I'm not sure what e-commerce capabilities that we'll have here in this, and this may simplify and or shift what we do. I'm still thinking that we're largely going to be using WordPress for our ecosystem at large, just because it has so much more functionality for a CRM standpoint. And this is something that we're absolutely looking to bring established CRM tools for workflow so that we can really work on getting a sales process set up. So, and that's something that we can kind of evaluate too, what we want this user journey to look like as far as onboarding people. And talking about a user journey, let's actually just go to GitHub because I actually created one here for WeOwn.Network fairly recently for our boot camp. So I created this Git repository over here, and let me see what this looks like. Can't remember how to pop it out. Oh, there it is. So this is something that and it'll probably look pretty similar to this, but just instead of, and I'm not sure if a 20-minute webinar will be enough to convert people, but this is something that we will evaluate to see. But the 20-minute webinar combined with a decent landing page may be sufficient. And this is something too that Tyler and I had some side conversations that we're looking forward to really get as we help navigate, guide people through this peer learning cohort, including ourselves, to get better at using AI and building AI agency. Is that looking forward to collecting testimonials as far as how that these things really change professionals, like real estate professionals, is really what we're gearing this AI Hacker House Academy to be for. But so let me add that deliverables, create a user journey for this academy. And I'm going to put in parentheses here that want this to be at hackerhouse.net. Okay, so other deliverables, social media marketing campaign strategy, expecting Alan Noble Digital.com X, and he's Alan X CMO. to assist with this campaign setup and execution. Targeting, I think I've already got this on here, targeting kickoff June 20. And I'm going to put here Tuesday, 03rd, June 2025. I believe that that's what that date was. Okay. So, finalize on weekly schedule, curriculum. And one of the things too, thinking of like the opportunity to do a deep dive on a particular topic is absolutely a real opportunity. And this is something that we can, again, be a very iterative price or an iterative process as far as figuring out what we really want to include, because new tools may come out that are like, hey, let's talk about this is something that we can potentially start using within our business. So because one of the things too that I'm expecting here with this is that we've talked about the American Dream campaign, and this is likely something that because one of the things that we put forward in here is that create a new deal flow pipeline for real estate professionals. Like, I believe that this is something that this AI Hacker House Academy can be a compelling enough situation where if somebody completes the Hacker House Academy and let's say they don't get they're executing on our some of the things that we're talking about, like this could potentially be new deal flow, like selling a new hacker house and putting that online within real estate professionals local market that they do business in. But anyway, getting back to the deliverables, I think that this is a fairly good list. What are some other things that I'm not thinking of that we need to get delivered in order to make this happen here within the next 3 weeks? Got anything? I am Lotus, Tyler.
What do you hope to happen in 3 weeks? Are we launching anything in 3 weeks?
Yeah, we're well, on June 3rd, and technically I'd say that that's 4 weeks from Tuesday. Um, is yeah, we're wanting to start. So in the next 4 weeks, the goal is to onboard 10 to 20 people for this first cohort at this uh into Hacker House Academy, AI Hacker House Academy for real estate professionals.
So we need to uh, engage Alan into helping us brand this and execute it way before the fourth week. Is that are
Yeah,
we
no, we so I'll be gone here, and let me take a look at the calendar here real quick. So getting back to the calendar I had there. Can't remember if I closed that window. Oh, here it is. So June 2025, let's take a look at May. So here's where we're at right here. Here's our Sunday. So I'm going to be gone this week right here. And then so the goal is to really do sales and marketing the last 2 weeks of May so that we can onboard. So that's why spending here this gonna be spending a lot of time this next week really working on getting an initial framework for our schedule in place. And like I said, it doesn't have to be something that's set in stone as far as for the entire 4 months, but just having a good idea as far as that how that we want to progress people through this curriculum, and just have some regular cadence surrounding that. And one of the things that you saw here, we already put the placeholders on the calendar for the Zoom conversations, and then the office hours conversations for Tuesday and Friday for the Zoom, the normal curriculum, and then the office hours, questions and answers, feedback, and probably rotate the office hours, just thinking out loud here, where it's Wednesday 1 week, Thursday another week, just to make it more inclusive for people that can't participate in one day, maybe participate in the other day. So yeah, we're the goal is to going back to the calendar here for May. I'll be at consensus here. I'll be back in Denver on the 17th, so we will likely resume our in this time frame, this 9 p.m. Mountain Time, uh, 11 p.m. Eastern Time seems to work out well with doing one on the morning time to just be inclusive for people that may want to contribute across the pond. And I'm not sure what that's going to look like if we don't have many people contributing here this next week. We like early in the week we may drop that off, but yeah, we want to fire up the webinar, especially with a $2,000 price point. No delusion that a sales, like just a landing page, is going to convert people. So the goal is to fire up a webinar marketing strategy these last 2 weeks of May so that then we can work on getting people booked for our first cohort conversation June the 3rd.
Okay, you didn't answer my question. Is Alan gonna help us do this?
Yeah, no, that's why I put here like expecting Alan to assist with the social media marketing campaign.
Okay. I cannot
Now,
read the small print. I don't have my. Okay.
I don't expect Alan to help with creating the curriculum, or probably not even the webinar marketing strategy. He'll probably provide some feedback and refinement, and this is something that we will but yeah, the goal is to
The
create.
brand, right? He will help with the branding.
Yeah, with the branding, and this is something, it's going to be a very iterative process. Figure out, marketing. One of the things that is very common in marketing is A/B testing. You've got scenario A, and then you make a slight shift for B, and then you see which one performs better, A or B, and then the one that performs better, then that's the one that you run, and then you just do that and keep on getting it until you ratchet up the success rate. And then the goal with our on-chain ambassador strategy is to document this in a manner, train, educate, document, so that our on-chain ambassadors, and this is also where we're going to be building AI agency for our ambassadors, because like the goal isn't just with our on-chain ambassadors to create AI agency here with this product, this peer learning cohort. The goal is to create a vertical AI agent for agency model for real estate professionals. Now, what that looks like under the hood will absolutely be an evolving and changing dynamic. The main thing that we're wanting to do here, like create cloud infrastructure. One thing that I'm pretty confident of is that a lot of real estate professionals don't know how to deploy their own cloud infrastructure so that they can own their own AI agency or deploy AI agents for their benefit. They may be using ChatGPT, but that's a very different scenario than deploying, because what we're looking to do again with our vertical AI agents, we're going to be cloud infrastructure provider, but it's more than that because we're going to be assisting with people on the deployment of the AI agents within their own cloud infrastructure and through our cooperative model. So this is the reason that I'm really excited about this is because this moves forward the AI, our vertical AI agents strategy. And this is one of the things that I would encourage you, I am Lotus and Tyler, to be thinking about. As much as I love geeking out on brands, one brand that I don't really have clarity around is what do we want to call this? And you can see here, whatever we end up calling this, and I'm going to actually highlight this because this is still, and I'm going to put a comment here. I'm going to highlight it. Let's highlight it pink, and I'm going to put a comment here. So let's continue to think about think about what we want to call our vertical AI agents brand for real estate professionals. And this will be important because similar like with my IRA, that's a brand that we're creating, and this vertical AI agent brand for real estate professionals, I don't know how many real estate professionals. Let's actually just do incognito window here. Go to google.com. How many real estate agents in the US? There are approximately 3 million active real estate agents in the US. Of these, around 1.5 million are realtors, members of National Association of Realtors. Now, I'm not going to make any predictions as far as market share or what we could get, but there's going to be agents that use AI and there's going to be agents that don't use AI. And I will speculate that the real estate professionals that get great at using AI will make substantially more money and have a higher quality of life than those that don't, especially 5 years from now. And this is the huge value proposition of AI agents. And the value proposition that we're creating is most like, will not create. And whether it's Manus, for example, you were talking about Manus doesn't actually provide a model where you can own your own AI agency. This is what the big value proposition is, that we're going to be helping deploy and use enterprise grade infrastructure to create an AI agency model that individuals will really own. And that's the whole ethos of the American dream. We're positioning the ownership of one's AI agency. So these campaigns are going to go really hand in hand. The big value proposition with leaning into this cohort learning model is that this will really force me and Tyler to get great at using AI ourselves, because I'm wanting to get great at building an AI agency within the ecosystem that we're setting up for people. So this will really force us to move the needle forward on getting the initial cloud infrastructure to support these our peer cohorts that are going to go through this. I have no idea how many people are going to. Our goal, Tyler and I, will be ecstatic if we have 10 to 20 people go through that. That's our personal goal. What that number will be, I don't have a crystal ball, but that's the goal that we have set forward. So that's part of the reason that I'm really excited about this, because I'm not personally using AI or AI agents to automate a lot of the things that can and should be. And this is where I have seen at a very rapid clip uh, the standards that are getting in place getting in place and embraced by big players in the space. And with established standards, that really makes it where we can start building confidently, where we're not going to have to reinvent the wheel because we're just like putting stuff together in a pre-standards era. But anyway, I could talk about this stuff all day. We're continuing to make progress on this. We'll be back in what is that? 12 hours. We'll be back in 12 hours for our next conversation. But anyway, I don't know if that did that help add any clarity there, me rambling a little bit. I am Lotus.
Yeah, there's just one specific question really I wanted to know so we can either collaborate, work together, execute, things like that, so that by the time we launch, everything is in place. That's all.
Well, and here's my belief. Not everything has to be in place. And this is where we set expectations, where we're all learning together here. And that's the big value proposition of this peer learning cohort is that we're actually going to be doing that. And, like this is something that we can be fully transparent about. The value proposition that we're building is the peer learning cohort and the accountability that comes with that. And that's the thing that I'm most looking forward. I don't think everything has to be in place. We just need to have some mechanisms that allow us to confidently move forward.
In the marketing part. That way
Um,
we can have
yeah,
people show up, is what I'm saying.
yeah, I'm confident that that's something that we will figure out. We've got two strong people, Alan with Noble Digital and Jason Webb, our fractional chief revenue officer, that we get it put in place like a product that we're wanting to promote. And that's exactly what the whole purpose of these conversations. And that's why going to be having two-a-days here the morning and the evening here this next week because we really need to get the curriculum dialed in. And I mean, even getting the e-commerce stuff set up. Like this is something that I actually can do. It's the look and feel that I'm not great at, and this is one of the things that we are bringing the people that can do that, and then a lot of times, I don't know how pretty things have to look. If people believe that they can get results, I was looking at some of the software tools, and this is something that Tyler can attest to. A lot of software tools that are created for real estate professionals people are paying like $500 to $1,000 a month at these tools because it allows them to generate like if you think about it, one tool as a real if it allows you to close one more deal a month in today's market, closing one additional house a month is literally thousands of dollars. So there's a lot of money that real estate professionals spend on tooling. And I'm fairly certain that real estate professionals, at least that want to up their game, are asking the question, how can I use AI to be more efficient, more productive, and or have a better quality of life? But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and stop the share. We're 1 minute already past the hour here late on Sunday. As I mentioned, we will be back in 12 hours for our third working group for AI Hacker House Academy. And just to put this out to the universe, this is something that we absolutely would welcome collaborators on. And that's something that we will can always open for collaboration. I actually need to update my calendar tool for that. But anyway, do you have any final closing thoughts for us here? I am Lotus. I saw Tyler just topped.
No, is the link already available for,
Or tomorrow?
yeah, because I might forward it to a few of my friends in Twitter that are in this type of,
Yeah,
uh,
for sure. And let me actually show you because there's how you can I'll fire up the screen share here real quick. So here on the Luma event, so this is our Luma Hacker House calendar. And then you go to the event, and here's the event page. And what I would encourage you, after you RSVP yourself, there's a link here, invite a friend. So if you click on this, it'll provide a link, and this will actually give you credit for inviting somebody if they actually register. I'm not going to unpack what that looks like under the hood. Remind me tomorrow before we go live, and I'll show you what that looks like. And I will go ahead and get the rest of, I'll commit to getting the rest of the events. This is one of the things that I know that I need to get better at, is getting the events on our calendar. Because like right now, I just have the one for tonight and the one for tomorrow morning. This is absolutely my main focus for this next week. It's all that I'm going to be thinking about, is getting our curriculum finalized for our June the 3rd launch date, and then working with the rest of the team to get our campaign and marketing strategy in place. So,
Okay. Good night, Jason.
yes, good night. Thank you. Until tomorrow, we'll be back another day tomorrow.